You know, there's that picture in the AP I'm seeing kind of floating around the forums of new clouds that nobody's ever seen. I don't know if I'm going to be jumping on that bandwagon yet either. I'm not quite sure what these are. I'm not a meteorologist. All that I can tell you is that for the past 3 years on the reg, let me repeat that, on the reg, throughout the country, I've driven across the country 3 separate times now. Okay, across the country, 3 separate times. I've flown all over the country. And for the last 3 years, I have really noticed the fact that there are white planes in the sky, sometimes in formations of 3 and 4 and 5, doing crosshatch patterns that then develop into a haze, mist, cloud-like matter that block the sun. This is real. I'm not imagining this. I don't know why people would say that they're fake, that I'm delusional. Jason, these things don't exist. The Obama administration only said that they might do something similar to that. You know, it's only in pop culture everywhere. It's a subplot of the latest Metallica video all nightmare long. Then I play the video while I'm substitute hosting for Alex Jones, and he's the devil. He's the devil. Ban him from the show. We will never listen again. How dare you play a 7-minute Metallica song and show a video of such demonic proportions on the air, Jason? And I'm like, well, if you were watching the PrisonPlanet.tv, don't you kind of see the overtures of the Tunguska experiment, the eugenics angle, the zombification of America, and then the chemtrails issue at the end? Doesn't that pertain anything to Jason? I can't listen to it. I don't care if there are lyrics like, you know, see us move every, see us shift every move you make, hunt you down without mercy, hunt you down all nightmare long. The light that is not light is here to flush you out with your own fear. You hide, but where to run? You will be found. I mean, that's literally what's going on. They are trying to flush us out with our own fear. They want to see who's going to roll up their sleeve for the piggy flu shot. They want to see who's going to buckle under the economic pressure and take his family to the mobile vans and the FEMA camps. They want to see who the soft and the weak are so they can try to cull the masses. And just because you live in this country doesn't mean they're not coming after you. They're coming after you full force, baby. They're imploding what is the visible empire to the rest of the world. See, they look at the United States as the evil empire. But the United States, I'm sorry, is not the evil empire. The actual evil empire is the invisible one that people can't put their finger on. The international intelligence cartel that is at the head of this technopoly. That is now just off the charts exploding. Off the charts exploding. Your kids are going to be playing with Hanson robotics, toys that talk to them. Again, you're going to have Project Natal in your living room that has voice recognition, motion sensors, facial recognition. This is going to be in everybody's living room hooked up to the internet 24/7 because you're too dumb to unplug it. Yeah, a hard drive-based system that has biometric scanning built in. That's what we want for our children. That's a smart move. And don't tell me, oh, we already had this and, you know, with the last PlayStation. It's nothing like the last PlayStation one. That was bad enough, you know, the little webcam. I put tape over my webcam. Call me paranoid. That's fine. I would rather put tape over it than run the risk of what they openly say they do is track, trace, and database. And I would have to be in some kind of real fairy tale wonder world of lunacy and delusion to think that I'm not being surveilled on some level by government agencies. Unfortunately, I do have one of the top alternative media programs in the world. Unfortunately, I was a part of the internet phenomenon that brought basically 9/11 truth into the mainstream, into the public banter, into an attack so large that Lester Holt, CFR minion of NBC, had to do a hit piece, a 2-hour one, on the History Channel, where they blatantly lied about me and my colleagues. And you know what? I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna break down each lie. That's a show coming up. That is a show coming up where we break down the lies and the disinformation of Jimmy Meggs, Hearst Publications, Popular Mechanics, NBC, the History Channel, and the disgusting elites who puppeteer them. Because again, they're openly getting ready to amalgamate the media even further. You know, I just mentioned NBC and Hearst. Well, now it's, how about NBC and Hearst and CBS? We'll just put it all together. Let's Disney. Let's get Disney involved. Yes. Actually, I think Disney does own CBS, which owns things like Showtime. I mean, just one big corporate entity. You know, there's a great line. I think Immortal Technique must have taken it from a movie or a TV show. But in the third world, they start talking about, you know, one corporate moral entity under God. One world. A new world order. That's what this is about. Back with the final segment after this. If you missed anything, folks, we got the podcast and the listen live over on the right-hand side of the one, the only, theinfowarrior.com. Don't forget to check out the behind-the-scenes video before the InfoWarrior, after the Alex Jones Show, just in this studio right here of Gary Franchi, William Lewis, their cameraman, myself, and, of course, Alex Jones up right now. Again, we're going to have a story at the InfoWarrior and Infowars.com tomorrow on this latest blackjack revelation. I hope people are going to be keeping even more tabs on this Northcom exercise. I do not believe we're going to see a false flag in this week. Could be wrong. Sure hope I'm not. I'm going to say there is, you know, a maybe 10% chance they would dare to gloat this heavily and have a false flag attack next week. I mean, have they done crazier things? Sure, but I just don't see it, folks. I would spend my energies warning people not only about this exercise, but the upcoming NLE 09 exercise and how they are really prepping local governments, tribal governments, state governments to give over all their powers, not only to the federales, but the internationalists, the UN, the World Health Organization, the CDC, FEMA, DHS, NSA. That's what I would be concerned with. And, you know, we only make this program grow if you tell your friends and family about it, you post it on your blog, you send it to your email list. I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, Alex Jones and myself can be the #1 podcasts in the world shortly. We don't have that much time. We have to make these broadcasts count. You know, the movies are great, but we're here live on prisonplanet.tv and gcnlive.com via the radio and the web for 3 and 4 hours a day. 3 and 4 hours a day, trying to give you the latest news, the important news, the stories people don't want to discuss. The real deal. The fact that the CIA says, oh, the #3 Al-Qaeda guy that we were torturing, oh, he wasn't #3 Al-Qaeda at all. You fell for that. The fact that the #2 Al-Qaeda guy they're telling you about, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, says, I make up stories. I make up stories after torture. They ask me where bin Laden is. I don't know. They tortured me. I tell them a place. They know fine. They torture me again. I tell them somewhere else. And those are the official CIA transcripts. Not that they can even be trusted. But what can you trust from waterboarding, torture, corruption, the rape of children, surveillance that's out of control, an internet that needs to be shut down, a technocracy that's willing to use bullets that can fly through buildings, around them, and explode within 3 meters of its target like a smart grenade? What are we supposed to think is going to happen when we give tyrants this kind of overbearing power? When we forget the fact that this is a system of checks and balances, of 3 separate branches of government that are supposed to really put each other in check. That's what checks and balances mean. See, they're supposed to investigate one another. There are supposed to be consequences for one's actions. There shouldn't be a thing called retroactive immunity. They shouldn't be able to take away posse comitatus. They shouldn't be able to throw you into a jail cell and say, you know what? Sorry, no individual freedoms. But that's the reality. That's what we deal with today. And most people right after this show, if you even are listening, are you going to get out there? Are you going to tell people about the exercises? Are you going to tell people about the program? Are you going to send them to InfoWars and Prison Planet? Or are you going to slurp down a Jenny Light and check out SportsCenter? That's the real question. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 to midnight, 5 nights a week, Central Time. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. Thank you all.